Hi, I'm Sherry from Homeschooling on a Wing and a Prayer blog. I'm going to be talking about our art program that we have decided to use for the coming year, possibly the next as well, including some of the great artist studies that we will be doing. As you can see, I have this section here mostly for the art study, and then over here is more of the history-related art study. Surratt obviously is a more modern artist, and we are doing medieval history this year. So this doesn't really come into play. I try and focus my artists around the same historical time period we are doing. I purchased this last year and was unable to get to it, so we're going to start our year with this. It doesn't matter because the medieval history that we are doing is so ancient, there's really not like a great artist to focus in on. So we're going to start here and then we'll work over to interesting people like Da Vinci, and some of the other Renaissance and medieval artists. First and foremost, though, I've decided to go ahead and do a more formal art study with my son, and I was fortunate enough to receive this Spears Art Studio as a review item several years ago. And she not only included the K to 8, but the high school level, because I had at the time 2 children in different age groups. I will put the link down below in the description box, so you can go ahead and take a look at her website and see if this is something you'd be interested in. As far as I know, you just do the DVDs or the CDs, whatever, and you put them in the computer and then you can print whatever you need. I went ahead, printed the nice cover, and created a teacher's guide. Now, I'm very excited to announce that I have hired an art teacher for my son this year, who just happens to be our third child who is a high school homeschool graduate. She is our artist in the family. She has quite the talent for it, and since she's not currently working, and even if she does find a job, she probably will stay at part-time mostly, so we can kind of tag team a little bit on the art. But I just really needed a little bit of a break. I wanted her to be able to get some experience kind of teaching. I also thought it would be good for my son to have another teacher besides his mother. And I like the fact that they're just going to have to learn to really work as a sibling group without, fighting or whatever. Now, these two are particularly close and they have a really good relationship, so it shouldn't be a problem. But you know what? Hey, I've hired her. She's agreed to it. Her pay is just looking at my sweet smiling face when she's over here doing this. Now, the nice thing is I went ahead and I printed up the table of contents, not only for her book, but also for my teacher's planner, because that way I can kind of keep track of where we are and kind of plan out the week. And the nice thing with the Spears Art Studio is she has it, the lessons, let me pull a sample out. Here is the pointillism. She'll have it listed for like November. This, I think, is a 6th unit. This is for the K through 8th, and I did pull this up because my son has had no official art exposure. We have done artist studies and a few things here and there, but this is going to be pretty in-depth. So I want to pull a little bit from the K to 8 because he just hasn't had the experience, and then mix it in with the high school. So, like I said, all her things are kind of put together by the month. You don't have to go in that order. You can just certainly pull out what you want. And with the younger ones, if my memory serves me correctly, she'll have the pointillism level for the younger kids, which I believe is an apple, and this is the higher, like probably the 6th through 8th grade level. So you can kind of vary it, same idea, just a little less involved for the younger kids. I like how she lays it out too. She always gives you the objective. She'll give you a Bible verse. Again, this is a Christian-based. Vocabulary, the motivation and the focus, the activity, the materials needed, and then kind of the lesson plans. Here is another one. This is for, it's listed under September. It's almost the same thing. They're using a grid, but it's still pointillism really. And again, the same kind of thing going on. And the reason why I'm showing you these two is because we're doing the Surratt. Some people say Surratt, but it's French, so Surratt. And I wanted to show you what my daughter did with her pointillism project. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, up close you can see the dots. Far away you see the whole picture. So that's why I'm showing you these two lessons, because that is one we will focus on for him, because we will be doing this artist study. Okay. Now in her thing, she'll have all the things you need for handouts and everything. I went ahead and pulled from the younger group the color wheel and all that because, again, he's not really had that. So I wanted to be sure he understood that, and everything she needs for the lesson is in this plastic sheet protector. As you can see, there's the color wheel. She'll pull that out and work with him. And then I have quite a few of the units already printed up for her. Not all of them, but it's a start. And then she'll just work her way through it. Now this is the high school level, so it's laid out a little bit different, but you still get the same kind of a thing. You get the lesson, objectives, scripture, vocabulary, some art history, what's going on in their sketchbook. Whoops, sorry. They do need to keep a sketchbook, and I have one set aside for my son. Exercises, and then the lesson, and then that's how it goes all the way through. When you are done, you can give your child a full year's art credit, which is awesome sauce. And again, you can coincide your younger kids with your older if need be. Now here's Mr. Surah, and this Art Projects is another awesome, awesome, awesome art program. I think I have shown either on my blog or maybe in another video another one of the CDs that we used. I did receive, I actually won this. This is Pointillism, and so she tells you what's going on in here. Sorry about the glare. She tells you what's going on in here. This is from seethelightshine.com. I'll put the link down below. That tells you everything you'll need for the project, and then you follow her easy steps. What I do is I set it up, obviously, in the TV DVD player, and then I bring a table out for my son to sit at, and then he just does the lessons, and I kind of shove the table aside. It usually doesn't take too long to get through these. I think the other one I did was like maybe a week long. No big deal. If you have younger kids and you can't get a TV into like a paint-safe floor, because like I do have carpet, I would just lay down a Dollar Tree tablecloth and just lay that down and then put the table on top, and that helps protect your carpet. Or you could use a tarp. I also found the Surah stickers on Amazon last year. These are tiny, but you know, just kind of gives you a quick idea of some of his artwork. I'll go ahead and get a couple art books from the library for him to look at. I couldn't find a Surah calendar, which is my favorite way of doing picture studies, so we'll just kind of use the books and go from there. I also purchased this at convention. I actually found the Mona Lisa at my local grocery store marked down to like $2.80, and so I was like, oh, they have a Surah. So it provides the canvas, the paint, and the instructions and everything when you're done. So again, another fun art project. I picked up this book at the library book sale for a whopping 15 cents, and I figured my daughter could tie this in when needed on composition. So that's our first artist focus study and the art program. Now, here are some of the other additional things we will be covering. Like I said, we will be doing historical lineup here. So Da Vinci is covered in our medieval history, and I found this and I was so geeked. They don't make these kits anymore. You'll have to buy it used, but mine was actually new. It had just been sitting on the shelf forever and a day, so it got a little bit crushed. But that's all right. I just used some, you know, packing tape and fixed her up. They have other ones, like I have the China set. Hang on. Okay, so you open up this little container. It has a book on Da Vinci, and then it has a section over here where it has the little dude that you will put together with the basically man-made airplane, the flying thing, because he was all about, you know, getting man to fly. So you have that kind of like fun hands-on activity. And then there's always a drawer in these things, and this happens to have like a put it together. I want to say it's a cathedral. I haven't really looked at it that close here lately in a while. Kind of like a puzzle thing. So you put it all together. There's all the pieces. Oh, and then in here are a couple other activity cards. This was his punched cartoon of St. James the Greater, and then I'm assuming in their little teacher's guide it tells you what you're supposed to be doing. Here's a timeline that we can pull out on Da Vinci. We'll definitely be using that. Here's like the Last Supper, kind of a flip thing. And then here's the little booklet on this. It's a sketchbook. like how he did it, which is awesome because I'm totally into that stuff. But yeah, here we go. Here's some instructions how to build your, look at this, isn't that funny? Your flying machine. And then just stores like right in this little drawer. So look for that if you want a different type of activity for your kids on Mr. Da Vinci. I think I paid under $5 for this, and then I just had shipping, so let's leave that aside. Again, this is the one I found at the local grocery store, and I'm like excited about this. It's not like super challenging or anything, but it certainly gives them a good intro. And I want to get some picture study cards from the Charlotte Mason company, Simply Charlotte Mason. Unfortunately, at convention, they didn't have just the picture cards, but they did have the portfolio, and I went ahead and purchased Mr. Ziotto. I think I said that right, Ziotto. He is obviously in the Renaissance and Medieval Ages, so what you get inside the portfolio, which runs about $15, is a little study guide on the particular artist. It goes through and talks about him. It gives you some book links and website links, and then it also explains the different pictures they chose. And I did speak with them, and they were like, yeah, we chose ones and we kind of have them larger so you can actually see the detail, which really helps in doing a good picture study. So you get all these prints, and of course they've weeded through those and found ones that are more appropriate, because a lot of the medieval and Renaissance ones are very dicey. So it's much more appropriate for children. So there's another idea. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Michelangelo cards and the Da Vinci. I don't have any of the other Michelangelo stuff right now. I have a couple orders to still finish, and I'll be adding all those in when I do. I had purchased the Vermeer and the, oh, let me say his name, Botticelli. I'm not Italian. I don't know. Anyways, these again are just those little stickers I picked up from Amazon. We're not going to do major focus studies on them because we have so much else going on, but I can pull some of the activities out of this book I have, the Discovering Great Artists. It tells you not only how to say their names, which is extremely important, it has some great art projects that you can do kind of like that artist. This is a really good one to have. I also picked up at convention the Italian Renaissance Color Your Own coloring book, and so we'll pull a couple of those from the artists that we'll be focusing on. I brought this out just so you could see. This is the Usborne's art sticker book. I believe they have one for the Renaissance, which I might purchase. I'm not sure yet, but oops, this is a good one for the little ones to keep their hands busy. It comes with all the stickers, and then they have to find where they go in the book. And then when they're done, it's a nice visual for reference. And then I actually had this when I was in college, and my dad said, hey, do you still want this? And I said, oh yeah. I did do art history study, and in here, of course, it has a bunch of great shots, actually, and covers the medieval Renaissance era, so I can pull this in as reference as needed as well. So those are just some ideas how I throw together an art or artist study program. There's so many different options out there. Use your library, get the Big Coffee book table, picture books for the art picture studies. And again, here's another great option. They really do some nice jobs here, the Simply Charlotte Mason. So like I said, the whole kit was like $15, and then just the art cards were like $7, $8. So I'm going to get a couple of those. Look for these kind of kits. There's all kinds of them out there. Just go to Amazon, hunt for them. And again, check out the Spears Art Studio. This is a really great program, and here's another awesome one too, the Art Projects by seethelightshine.com. So there you are. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the description box. Be sure to subscribe. I'm going to have as many videos coming out as I can get done. And don't forget, I have my classroom reveal coming up soon. Other than that, you know what? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all my subscribers and just visitors too. Until next time, take care.